Welcome to another exciting and enthusiastic episode of Woody Screencasts. This time we're going over analyzing evidence, showing the reader your thinking when writing. And we've worked a lot with evidence. We've talked about analyzing. It's one of the things, it's one of the items in our writing that we still need a lot of work on for some of us. So we're going to get on into it. The elements of a paragraph designed to support a claim. There are three items that we should have, and there are three elements. I want you to remember this with, those are teacups. These girls are having a tea party. Yes. Oh, look at the little bears in the tea party. Aw. T. All right, when you remember T, when you have to write an analysis paper, literary analysis, even argumentative, you want to think about T for each of your body paragraphs. Topic sentence that we want to start with a transition. The textual evidence, again, be specific. Show us, don't tell us, as I've said, as Ms. Whitman has told you, show, don't tell. The third part of this, and this is where we need the most work as of right now, is the analysis of the evidence. Right? Not just telling us the evidence, not just letting us make the connection, but actually analyzing and showing the reader your thinking. Why analyze? And it's just that. It helps the reader understand your thinking. Instead of just saying, here's the evidence, and kind of maybe a sentence and then letting it go. Right? Don't assume the reader knows why that evidence is important or how that evidence supports your claim. You have to show the reader that. You have to, as the writer, connect the dots for the reader. Right? Take them through. Make sure it's clear and understandable. So we get to what is analysis. As we talked about, analyze means to break apart, to look at. Think of CSI, and yes, we are going all CSI today. Yeah. When you watch CSI, they actually look at the evidence. So we want to think of your paragraph. Cut that. We want to think of your paragraph, your essay, is a crime scene, and you're investigating, and you have to actually show what has happened. All right, you have to show the jury how this evidence adds up and supports the claim that you're making about somebody being guilty or not guilty. So analysis through CSI. We have our evidence. You're going to gather it to prove the claim. We've done that. Most of us have done a really great job with that. We'll continue to work with it. But if you don't have evidence, you don't have a case. Right, but more than that, does the evidence by itself prove your case? No. You have to analyze the evidence for the jury, in this case the reader, to prove your case and show how it supports your claim. If you don't do that, they're not going to get it. The analysis must tie to the claim. Here's what I mean by that. You have your claim. Now you're going to have your body paragraph, and so your topic sentence, but you'll put in some evidence. And then you need to analyze the evidence. So you're putting the evidence, analyze the evidence. The analysis has to go back to the claim. All right? It has to go back to the claim. You can't just leave it go and say, here's my analysis. Tie it to the claim. Again, connect the dots, make it clear to the reader. How do you do it? Put it in your own words. Explain what it means. If you have a quote and a specific word, you want to explain what that word means, why the writer used it, put it in your own words. Show the impact of the word choice, the events from the narrative, the quote that you have. All right, show the reader. Don't just tell us. Show. Show, show, show. How does the evidence connect to and support the claim? Why is it meaningful? Why did you select this evidence? Show us that. Show us why you chose this. The reader should be able to know why this is important, why you chose it. We're going to look at some examples. One thing, we do have this hanging at the front of the room under prompts to speculate about theme. You should pull from that. All right, some stems or sentence starters to help you. So after your evidence, just like we talked about with having the transition into textual evidence with the transition, the indicator, and the verb, for example. For instance, as Jordan Sonnenblick writes in Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie, quote, Stephen, make me some oatmeal, end quote. Maybe not the best example, but you get the idea. All right, you want to have some sentence starters here too. Tell us, this is significant because, and explain why that evidence is significant. Show us what this illustrates. This is convincing because this relates to. And you could tie it to the real world if you needed to. Go beyond the text, it's cool. All right, but these are the things that you want to do. We'll look at some examples now. Really, it's analysis because you have to prove that the evidence supports what you think it does, and you have to prove that and show that to the reader. Connect the dots. TEA, topic sentence, evidence, analysis. 40 out.